Hey guys, this is Doge Buddha here, and I watched Sonic 2 on April 7th, so a day before the official release, and wanted to do a quick review on it considering I did a review on the first movie, and I'm just a big Sonic fan. This video is obviously going to be different from my other videos because I can't show Sonic 2 on YouTube right now, as it doesn't have an official digital or physical release, and if I were to get an online screen recording, that would be illegal, and would probably get this video taken down if I were to show it, so instead, in the background I got some Sonic 3 gameplay to give you some visual stimulation, and I got some Sonic music too. Anyways, in this video I'm going to go over the general things I liked about the movie, and then give it a score, but then after that, I'm going to go into specifics, so the first half will be spoiler free, and then the second half will include spoilers. Also, I'm going to mention some stuff that was already in the trailers and other promotional material in the first part, because technically, they're not spoilers. They're public information. Alright, let's start with the general stuff. First of all, I think this movie is very good. The characters were absolutely done right. Sonic is not only a hero in this movie, but he becomes a leader, which is another quality he's had throughout the years. Not to mention, he's still as carefree as he was in the first movie, and still that same old wisecracking Hedgehog. Tails is Sonic's best pal. Timid, but not a coward. Tails is brave, and he can learn that he's strong without Sonic. His intellect is his strong suit, and he can use it to outsmart enemies. Knuckles is a badass, beefy echidna. Never backs down, never intimidated. However, Knuckles isn't the brightest, so he can be tricked easily. Eggman is even crazier in this movie, and rightfully so. After spending so much time in Mushroom Hill, there's only so much one man can take. Tom is still the same old righteous, moral guy he was from the last movie. He will always help Sonic every step he takes, and in the process, he saves the world. The other human characters are fine for the most part too. They introduced a character named Randall, and I can't say too much about his character without spoiling the movie, but he's pretty cool, definitely not annoying, and will fight for what's right. Anyways, the dynamic between all the characters makes sense and adds to the story. The dynamic between Knuckles and Eggman, the dynamic between our three furry heroes, and even the dynamic between Tom, Maddie, Sonic, and Tails aren't boring. These are all characters, except for Eggman, we want to see do good and succeed, and even though we want to see Robotnik fall, we can't help but think what's going to happen when he gets the Master Emerald. There's plenty of references throughout the movie that reward those who have played the games. Not to mention, by putting in references, the writers demonstrate that they know the source material quite well, and that's obviously a good thing, as you wouldn't want people that know nothing or very little about the source material to make a movie. They know what makes Sonic, well, Sonic. Anyways, let's talk about the areas they go to. I wanted to talk about Siberia, aka Ice Cap, and I guess in Palazone, the place where the Master Emerald is. These areas are just beautiful. They have so much detail, they fit right in with the vibe of Sonic, and are great places to have to advance the story. The only gripes I have are the movie, like last time, has a few moments that feel a little too PG and like a kid's movie, which I understand, it kinda is, but at the same time, teens and adults saw this movie, and were probably the target audience because they're the type of people that would really appreciate a Sonic story such as this. And to be fair, the PG moments aren't as bad as last movie, they're more tolerable, and not to mention, the action scenes and character building scenes that follow them really wash away their presence, so it's not like the dull scenes are long or followed by more dull scenes. Speaking of that, the humor in this movie is also improved. I felt like only a few jokes didn't hit the mark. The majority of them worked, or at least had some kind of merit. The humor that derives from Knuckles' lack of intellect is pretty funny. It's so simple, so stupid, but it works, and I laughed at most of the jokes poking fun at Knuckles. So, if you're a Sonic fan, or a gamer that knows a little bit about Sonic, I would highly recommend seeing this movie. Personally, I give it an 8 out of 10. The human scenes aren't perfect, and a few of them feel kinda unpolished, but the rest of the movie gives viewers awesome action scenes, the characters are well developed, and their personalities are in line with the games. Plus, the cinematography and the movie world are beautiful, and the big Sonic fans will love the references. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's get into specifics. I just want to remind everybody, this section is going to include spoilers, so if you haven't watched the movie, click off the video, as I'm going to be talking about important scenes that pertain to the story. Okay, now that they're gone, let's do this. First of all, I want to talk about the final scene with Team Sonic fighting off against Robotnik's huge robot, which looks just like the Doomsday robot from Sonic 2. The synergy and dynamic between the team is something else. These guys work so well together, they flow so naturally, and I will forever be grateful for the writers for doing this, as this scene could have easily been ruined in the wrong hands. Sonic coming up with the game plan and leading his team is very satisfying. It totally fits his character. So, we get character development and a connection to the games. And how could I forget Super Sonic? That was just badass. The whole scene from Robotnik becoming the Doomsday Robot to Super Sonic obliterating him is just, oh, so nice. Before I move on, Eggman mentions that there might be a multiverse. So, if there is one, does that mean what I think it means? Alright, now I want to talk about two scenes that greatly show off Tails' character, the garage scene and after the bar dance-off. In the garage scene, Sonic learns that the compass to finding the Master Emerald is found deep in Siberia, so Sonic uses one of his rings to teleport to Siberia to find it and invites Tails along. Tails at first doesn't want to go, stating he was only there to warn Sonic about Knuckles, but through Sonic's persuasion, Tails goes along. Such a short but sweet moment. Tails is taken aback from the scary journey, but Sonic reassures him he has it within him to save the world and take down Eggman. And because Sonic is Tails' role model, he quickly accepts. He knows Sonic will protect him, but he can stand up for himself too. Not to mention, this is a great moment for Sonic too, because he now trusts Tails with his life, something he was against just minutes ago. The post-bar dance scene greatly embodies the friendship between these two as well. Tails is happy to finally make a friend after being bullied on his home world, and he's also saving the world while doing it. Also, just to get off topic for a second, I'm pretty sure this backstory of Tails being bullied on his home planet is taken from Sonic X, as both stories are practically identical. Anyways, I think this is the scene Tails finally finds his confidence. After this, he never doubts himself. He didn't even back down when he had to fight the Doomsday Robot, and he showed no fear while doing it either. And again, this is a great scene for Sonic too, because he's happy to have found another friend that will help him no matter what the circumstances are. Anyways, GUN is in this movie. That was totally unexpected if you ask me. I think GUN's reveal could have been executed better. It's quick, and like 2 scenes later, they realize Sonic and his friends are good and Eggman is back. It's kind of a good thing the reveal was done during the wedding scene. I'm not exactly sure where else they would have been able to reveal them without interrupting the flow of things. Not to mention, I think the scene would have been lackluster without him. Speaking of GUN, the shadow reveal at the end, oh my god. As soon as they said a 50-year-old project, I knew exactly what they were talking about and freaked out. I got so hyped. I can't wait to see him in the next movie. And if you have GUN and Shadow, Sonic 3 is gonna have Rouge, no doubt in my mind. I want to talk about 2 more things. First, the owls versus echidnas. First of all, this conflict sounds like something at a Sonic adventure. I mean, in both the movie and the game, the Echidna tribe fought to keep the Master Emerald, so it's not far off at all. I like this conflict. It shows that the rivalry between Sonic and Knuckles goes even deeper, but at the same time, it illustrates that they shouldn't be defined by their past, because ultimately, both of them want to protect the Master Emerald from the wrong hands, and they can work together to make it happen, unlike their tribes that were at constant war. Secondly, I think this is kind of important to address. When it comes to video game movies, the range of enjoyment varies from the average person that knows very little about the source material, to fanatics of the series, and this is apparent with this movie. I think this can be further illustrated with GUN. To an average person, they have no clue what GUN is, and are very confused as to why out of nowhere this group showed up. Of course, Sonic fans know GUN is an undercover agency that first appeared in Sonic Adventure 2, and is known to get extreme with their tactics. Not to mention, the commander in this movie is close to the commander from the games, or at least the one from Shadow the Hedgehog. So in essence, an average person will criticize the movie for the sudden inclusion of what seems to be a random organization, but Sonic fans will praise the movie for including GUN, because it adds more connections to the games, and GUN is an integral group from Sonic Adventure 2 to Sonic 06, so this can set up the story for the sequels. Now, I want to be clear, some of the things that critics might criticize this movie for are 100% justified and understandable, but some things can really fly over their heads when they don't understand exactly what they're watching, and make it seem as though certain scenes have little reason as to why they play out the way they do, despite the fact that it totally makes sense when relating it to the source material. With all that being said, I personally love Sonic 2. This, in my opinion, is the best video game movie. Far too often have movie studios wanted to make video game movies that have little respect for the games, or the most basic of connections to the source material, thanks to these studios hiring writers that know nothing about these games, and just try to do their best with what they have. Luckily, Paramount hired people that actually like the games. They have a passion and respect for Sonic, and this goes a long way when it comes to making an adaptation for something. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching, and I'm most likely going to do a review on Sonic 3 and the Knuckles TV show when they come out. Feel free to disagree with anything I have to say in the comments below, or simply add your thoughts to the movie. Just make sure to warn people if your comment is going to have spoilers. Have a good day.